Okay, so in this video and next couple of videos, we will be talking about how we can create our own custom visualization in Splunk. Okay, so mainly in this video, we'll be talking about the setup part of it, and next video will be basically building the visualization logic, and next to next video we will be talking about how we can apply CSS, and then we can create those format menu options in custom visualization. Okay, so to start with, we will be creating this visualization, the radial meter visualization first. Okay, in future videos I'll try to cover more complex visualization as well. Okay, so as radial meter, like if I see this whole uh, arc as 100%, right? So whatever value you are giving it over here, so according to that value the arc will be filled up by some color. Okay, so that's the visualization functional part of it. Okay, so to start with, the first thing you need is npm. Okay, so now to download npm, you can do two things. One is you can directly download from npmjs.com website. Okay, so download this open source version, or you can download from Node.js. So if you just download and install Node.js, npm is also distributed along with Node.js, so npm will be automatically available over there. So I generally prefer Node.js because I have a lot of other JavaScript projects which I can leverage Node.js as well. So I'll be going through this Node.js installation itself. Okay, so install Node.js as I am in Windows. So you need to so I'll be downloading the Windows version of it. So you need to download the according version according to your operating system. Okay, so if I just download it, okay, so and install it, so it's a very simple installation. So just you just need to follow the setup wizard over there, that's all. As I already downloaded it, so I will not be downloading it now. Okay, so I'll just cancel this particular setup. Now once you download and install Node.js, right, so you can check it out from your command prompt whether npm has been installed or not. Okay, by running this command npm. Okay, so if it is giving you this prompt where it is telling like how to use npm, that's help text, so that means npm is available in our system. Okay, so now the second thing we need is our visualization app. Okay, so Splunk provides a visualization app template, so we'll be using that one. It will be easier for us to develop the visualization. Okay, I'll be saving it in my downloads folder. Okay, now I'll go to my downloads folder and then I'll extract it. Okay, now if you see, this is our visualization app, so I'll be copying this app. Then I'll go to desktop, my Splunk home, then etc apps folder. I'll be pasting that particular app. Okay, now let us talk about different aspect of this particular app. The first thing is, whenever you are creating a visualization, right, it is always good practice to create it under a single app. That means if you are creating multiple visualization, maintain it in a single app itself. Okay, so that's why the visualization app creation is important. Inside the visualization app, these are the four folders coming by default: app server, default, metadata, and readme. Okay, now app server is the most important folder over here. Okay, inside the app server folder there is a static folder. Okay, inside the static folder there is a visualizations folder. Inside this visualizations, you will maintain all your visualizations code. For separate visualization, you will be creating separate folder over here. Okay, so as we are creating radial meter, I'll rename this one to radial underscore meter. Okay, now if I just go inside this radial meter folder, there are couple of things we need to know. First thing is the source folder. If you see it over here, inside the source folder, there is a file called visualization underscore source.js. Okay. Now this is the main file where you will be creating your visualization code. Okay. So all the logic of rendering the visualization will be there inside this file. So if we take a close look at this file, okay, so if you see, it's just a defined clause of this, the way how we define function in require.js, right? So inside this one, we have first we have given an array, right? So this array, as you know, we are passing the jQuery underscore Splunk visualization base and Splunk visualization util. So these are the package required to build the visualization. Now the minimum thing is required is Splunk visualization base and the Splunk visualization utils package. Okay, so these are the main packages available. Now correspondingly, when we define the corresponding visualization function, right, the whole visualization logic, we have to add the corresponding name for those libraries. So for jQuery we have given dollar, for underscore we have given underscore. Similarly for Splunk visualization base and Splunk visualization util. Okay. Now each and every Splunk visualization actually extends the Splunk visualization base class. Okay. So Splunk visualization base class defines four different functions: initialize, format data, update view, and get initial date params. Okay, so initialize, as you said, as you know, actually, like this is the constructor, right? So whenever you want to apply something which is common to everything, we generally put this logic into the initialization folder, right? Now in terms of creating a custom visualization, here we define the element or the SVG, or maybe if I just show you over here in Splunk. Okay, so if I say index equals to main stats count all time. Now when I go to visualization tab, right, let's say single value, so the whole visualization has been rendered over here in this small space, right? So this is the space, basically this guy is this dot el. Okay, defines. Okay, so even we can define some kind of classes for to apply our css as well in this portion over here in the initialization part, right? Now in the format data, basically it's an optional function you can implement, but it's a good function to implement because over here basically you will be implementing the logic of error handling. Like suppose if we are talking about a single value visualization and we are only expecting the numeric value, which is the case for our visualization as well, right? So we can define logic like if that particular value I am sending to this visualization is numeric or not, right? And whether I am actually sending a value to the visualization or not, similar stuffs, right? We can do that one. So format data is a very important function, or even though it's an optional. And whatever format data returns, Splunk basically sends that to update view function, which basically renders the visualization. So the over the data over here is the data returned from the format data. Okay, and the config over here, you can, if we just compare it over here, is this format over here. Whatever user is formatting from the UI, the format visualization part, that will go as a config object to this update view program. Okay, so that it can accordingly render the visualization. Okay, now get initial date params, it's basically it used generally for such data parameters like how many maximum number of results the visualization can handle, those kind of stuff. Okay, so we got a fair idea about how the visualization underscore source skeleton has been defined. Okay, so for now, for this particular tutorial, I'll just put a console.log over here just to see whether the format data is the first one getting called or not. Okay, console.log, we'll do the whole setup first, then we will come back to this particular JS file again to see what we can implement it over here, okay, and how we can implement it test. Okay, so this is the only single change we will be doing it in this particular tutorial. Okay, now let's move on. Let's talk about other important files over here. So if I just come out of this source folder, the first file is formatter.html. Now this is the file which is responsible for creating this format menu. Okay, we'll see how to implement this one as well. The second important file is package.json. Okay, so as I told, npm will be used to build the visualization basically. Okay, so the npm use this package.json to determine what to run during the build process. Okay, so here a lot of configurations are there. Okay, you can check it out, this one. And readme is fine. Visualization.css is the css settings you can apply on your visualization, as the name suggests. Now visualization.js, now whatever we are writing into this source visualization underscore source.js, if we build this file using npm, that will create this visualization.js file. So generally we will not be touching this visualization.js file. We'll be only programming on visualization underscore source.js. Then we'll build this one using npm so that it will create this particular file. But internally, Splunk uses this guy to render everything. Okay. Now web.config.js is another important file. If you see the package.json, right, ultimately it is using to build it, right? Now webpack is basically, it's a packaging tool, right, which basically package all the dependent object, all the dependent JavaScript libraries to for which will be used to support this kind of visualization, right? Now webpack.config.js is basically telling us to which file is my entry point. That means which file I will be writing for rendering the or to building the actual logic of the visualization, and what file it should create as an output. Okay, so that means npm also will be using this guy to access the source file to create the output file as well. Okay, so we talked about these things. Okay, let me go back over here. So let us come out of this visualization, and we will directly go to app server. Okay, we have seen that. Now we go to default folder. Okay, now inside the default folder, as we all know, inside default data, UI, views and navigation, you can create your dashboard XMLs, right? So this particular folder is used when you want to ship a default dashboard with your visualization so that the end users can see how to use that particular visualization. Okay, now app.conf, as we know all, it's related to the app settings. Safesearches.conf, it's basically a very important file over here in the visualization. Whatever settings we will be maintaining over here, okay, that will be basically directly related to the settings we'll be maintaining over here. That means in safesearches.conf, the settings we have, those settings are actually settings which users are formatting from the UI itself. Okay, so internally they will format from here. It will be going to the safesearches.conf and accordingly to the JS file to render it. Okay, that's the overall flow. And visualization.conf is actually to make this particular visualization level details, like the minimum configuration needed is level of the visualization and the description. So this file will be used when we select the visualization, right? If you see it in the downsize, it shows lot of um, details about the visualization, like what is the visualization name, what it do, what is the search fragment, everything, right? So that details are maintained in visualization.conf file. Okay, we'll see how to use that one as well. Okay, so for now, for our visualization, as we are creating our radial meter, right, so I'll be configuring that one in our visualization.conf file. Okay, and I will give it a meaningful name, radial meter. Okay, and description, let's say this is a radial meter visualization. Okay, I'll save it. Now we talked about the default folder label details, right? Now let's move on to the metadata file. So the metadata file, as you all know, this basically this file holds the details about the access, right? So as it is a visualization, and this could be used in any of the apps in the for that particular Splunk deployment, right? So that means this particular visualization has to be access by system level. That means all apps should be able to access this particular visualization. So for that, this particular stanza is useful: visualizations slash the visualization name. Okay, now the visualization name, we will just copy it from here, visualization.conf. It is our radial meter, right? And export, it will be system. Okay, so we talked about our access level details as well. And the readme file, the safesearches.conf.spec, it basically tells us whatever configurations we are putting it in the safesearches.conf, so that corresponding specification we will be mentioning it over here. Okay, we'll see this one as well. So to start with that, just to see whether whatever code changes we have done over here, at least this console.log, whether it is printing or not, first thing we have to see that one. Okay, for that we need to do couple of things. We need to, first of all, we did a code change over here, right? In this visualization.source, that means we need to build this one using npm, right? So we'll see first how to build this one. Now before we do that, there are a couple of things we need to do. Okay, so if I just go to app server static visualization radial meter. So first we will set up the npm. Okay, so to do the npm setup, you need to go to your corresponding visualization folder first. Okay, so I'll be going inside my radial meter folder. Okay, now over here, to install all the npm packages, okay, you need to run this command npm install. Okay, now this should create a folder over here inside the radial meter called node underscore modules. Okay, so this actually holds all the modules which we'll be using in our visualization underscore source.js. Okay, now for our visualization, we need two extra modules called D3. Okay, we'll be using the 3.5 version of the D3. So this is how you install D3: npm install dash dash save D3 and the D3 version. Okay, so if I just install it, okay, it should create, if there could be some warning, you can just ignore it. It should create a folder called D3 over here. Okay, similarly we need jQuery and underscore, so we will install them as well. Generally within the, when we did the npm install, jQuery is also getting installed, but over here maybe it will be updated to the latest version of the jQuery. Okay, so I'll just remove this one. Similarly for underscore as well, we'll do the same thing, as we'll be using this two in our visualization building process. Okay, so we did that one. Now we need to build this particular visualization changes using npm. Okay, so to do that, we need to run a command call from the same folder radial underscore meter, to run a command called npm run build. Okay, now if you see, this is getting failed. Okay, so because couple of stuff over here, let us discuss them. And it will only fail because we are in Windows, and Windows is always special, right? So as I said, npm uses package.json, right? So if I open package.json, when I run the build, it's basically trying to run this one. Okay, and now if you see in Windows, the Splunk home environment variable is, we have to give like this one to access it, right? Not dollar. With the dollar one will be used for Nix based system, right? Not in Windows. But even though I do that one, it always fails because my Splunk home, if you see it over here, okay, we have C program files, right? So there is a space over here, so that's why it fails there as well. And if you want to see where and why it is failed, it always creates a log. Do check out that one as well. If it is failing in Nix system, maybe something else may be going on over there. Okay, so as I already did that, so I know what's going on over here. So if I just run npm run build again, so same kind of error I'll be getting over there. So okay, so to fix that one, what we can do is, so what the this is basically a workaround I have come up with. So I'll be running this one only, okay, with a bit modifications over here. If you see, I'm just giving this Splunk home bin Splunk within double quotes, then rest of the stuff as it is. Okay, so if I just do it, I'll do clear screen, then this one. Okay, so now it is successful. Okay, so it should be creating this visualization day just now we have updated. Okay, so our initial visualization setup has been done. Okay, so now we need to do another changes so that the every time we change this JS file, we will not be restarting Splunk again and again. Okay, we'll be restarting Splunk only once. So to do that, in Splunk etc system local folder, we have to create a web.conf file with this particular settings so that the JS file will not be cached. Okay, so I'll be going to my etc system local folder. I already have a web.conf. If you do not have it, you need to create it. Okay, and I'll just paste these settings over there and save it. Okay, so now I'll just restart Splunk once. Okay, after that the visualization should be shown up over here as a selectable visualization. Okay, so let us see. I'll go to settings, server control, restart Splunk. Okay, we'll come back after Splunk restart completes. Okay, our Splunk has been restarted. Now let us see whether our visualization is showing up over there or not. For that, I'll go to my search and reporting app. I'll just run a sample query. It's very easy query. It's just giving me a count of 60. Okay, I'll just run it over here. I'll go to visualization tab. Okay, from there, if you see, this is our radial meter. So if I just show it over here, so this is the radial meter if you see, and these details are getting pulled from the visualization under visualization.conf file. Okay, I'll be selecting this one. Okay, so now if I just press F12, so the test should come up over here. Okay, so that means at least the visualization underscore source has been properly built by npm to create the visualization.js file, right? And that visualization.js file is actually printing the test. Okay, so at least our initial setup has been done. Okay, so in the next video, what we'll see, we will build the visualization. We'll see what are the necessary things we need to cover up to create that particular visualization. Okay, we'll be discussing in very details. See you in next video.